The themes of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are inspirational to our country. At the core of this, we are focusing on making the world a better place for future generations.
The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is a set of international development goals from 2016 to 2030, which was adopted by the United Nations Sustainable Development Summit held in September 2015, building on the success of Millennium Goals.
The 2030 Agenda listed Sustainable Development Goals consisting of 17 goals and 169 targets in order to eradicate poverty and realize a sustainable world. The SDGs are universal goals applicable not only to developing countries but also developed countries, and pledge leave no one behind through the implementation process. Japan makes utmost efforts to implement the 2030 Agenda with the international community based on the concept of human security. Now we would like to present a short video about the goals.
By the year 2030, what will our planet and society look like? We must overcome a variety of global issues to realize a prosperous and vibrant future. It is up to us to decide the future. SDGs now! Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, are the common goals adopted in September 2015, which the 193 UN member states are committed to achieve by 2030. The SDGs are for the benefit of countries and people throughout the world, including developed countries. The 17 goals are interconnected and need to be addressed simultaneously. Moreover, they require everyone's power and participation, including those of national governments, local administrations, companies, and citizens. So, what can we do to implement the SDGs? SDGs now!
Today, we are going to address the three key goals of SDG: no poverty, responsible consumption and production, good health and well-being.
So let's start with no poverty. SDG 1 aims to end poverty in all its forms everywhere. Its objectives include ensuring that the entire population, and especially the poorest and the most vulnerable, have equal rights to economic resources, access to basic services, property and land control, natural resources, and new technologies. The main cause of poverty derive inequality and heightened malnutrition, lack of access to education, discrimination, and exclusion.
There is a project aimed to tackle the poverty problem. Kodama Takashiku, which means homemade food for children, is a food delivery partnership and a new safety net concept for low-income families in Bunkyo City, Tokyo. In 2017, the first year of this project, donations in Bunkyo City exceeded 80 million yen, far above the initial target of 20 million yen, and 150 families were served. In April 2018, the deliveries reached all 450 families that had applied.
Over 2,000 Kodomo Sokudo cafeterias providing free or discounted meals to children in Japan. It means that cafeterias provide free or reduced price meals to children, and they have been set up throughout Japan as a part of efforts to address child poverty. A citizens group aimed to make such cafeterias more widely accepted, and an essential part of community development hopes that not only children but also adults will visit the cafeterias, where children and adults can have positive interactions with each other.
Our next point is SDG 12. SDG 12 aims to ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns, which is key to sustain livelihoods of current and future generations. Unsustainable patterns of consumption and production are root cause of the triple planetary of climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. These crises and related environmental degradation threaten human well-being and achievement of the SDGs.
With the worldwide call to save the only Earth we have, Japan is starting to pay attention to its own consumption and waste issues. Japanese know that there is still more they can do for the environment. One of those methods is having a zero-waste mindset.
The zero-waste policy aims to encourage environmentally friendly habits and lifestyle to people. It aims to remove waste disposal methods such as open incineration and land reclamation by 2020 through reuse and recycling efforts. It aims to build a community that cares for the environment.
In 2003, Kamikatsu became the first town in Japan to implement the zero-waste policy, with an aim to be completely zero-waste by 2020. To date, the town has not used garbage collection trucks. Instead, the 1,500 people from the 787 households living in the town's 55 villages separate and bring their own garbage to the town's waste collection center. At Kamikatsu, there are 45 categories of garbage types, the highest number of divisions in Japan.
In Japan, there are also second-hand clothing stores to implement sustainable consumption. One of these is Kurokuro Reuse shop.
Kuru Reuse is a shop located inside the Base Collection Center that sells second-hand children's clothing and reusable items. It helps to recycle over 15 tons of garbage every year.
Our last topic is SDG 3. It's good health and well-being.
It aims to promote welfare and ensure health so that everyone in the world can receive appropriate medical services. In this issue, we will explore the current situation and challenges in Japan with regards to SDG 3. In the world, many people are unable to receive adequate treatment for their illnesses. But in Japan, the medical insurance system is well established and treatment is available at hospitals. So what can companies and individuals do to cooperate and achieve these goals?
SDG 3 is not just for countries and businesses. As individuals, we can contribute to the SDGs by forming partnerships with enterprises. Forming a partnership doesn't have to be complicated. All you have to do is to participate in charity campaigns and events hosted by large businesses. Here, we will introduce two examples that we as individuals can cooperate with companies to contribute.
The first one is Used Clothes the Vaccine. It is a program that collects used clothes which are then shipped to people in developing countries. In addition, vaccines are donated for each bag of clothes collected to children in developing countries. 5 polio vaccines are donated for each bag collected. Donating used clothing not only helps clean up your room, but also saves the lives of children in developing countries and creates employment.
Isn't this fantastic?
If you're having trouble throwing away unnecessary items in your home, why don't you give the service a try?
The second example is collecting caps. It provides vaccines to children around the world. Schools, local governments, and companies collect caps and bring them to community organizations specified by the NPOs. When a certain amount of caps are collected, the caps are sold to recycling companies. The profits are then donated to a certified NPO corporation called Japan Committee Vaccines for the World's Children. After that, in cooperation with UNICEF, vaccines are ordered from vaccine suppliers worldwide.
Now we would like to show you the opinions of other people on this issue.
This is our beautiful planet. Our deep oceans and vast lands. Our unique nature and abundant biodiversity. Our lives. Our future. We are at a crossroad. We are facing unprecedented challenges. We have to make the right turn now. We must put ourselves on course towards a sustainable future for all. We must realize our global goals. To make this happen, we need to act now, and we need to accelerate action. To world leaders we say, listen up.
This is, I think, the top priority of all governments, and we must work together to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals.
Please ensure that young people are fundamentally at the core of everything you do. Don't just leave us behind, don't just wait until we hit 30 and leave us to just try and work it out for ourselves.
Work with each other because we're all sharing one planet.
It's important to understand what's already working and how can those ideas be scaled up to reach even more people.
Sustainable Development Goals, the Paris Agreement, these are remarkable tools to actually look to a sustainable future for the planet. What we need is the world leaders to really believe in them and to really deliver them.
There are things that we just can't imagine that can happen in terms of the food supply, in terms of climate change, in terms of flooding of coastal areas in the United States and beyond that could happen, are going to become very normal in the next 20, 30 years. This may be our last chance, these next 20 years. But not last chance in terms of we're all going to die in 20 years, but we will have set in motion things that will change the earth forever, that we'll never be able to go back and fix.
Mrs. Good, Mr. Bozkurt, colleagues and friends. First of all, we would like to thank Turkey for co-hosting this conference. Then thank all of you for joining this crucial meeting. We have much to learn from each other's knowledge, experiences, and ideas. So let's work together to make sure we leave a planet that is sustainable to our future.
Thank you all for your attention.